What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of The Chi. This is season 7, episode 12. The episode is titled Rebirth, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I gotta be honest, y'all, I am not going to go scene by scene, more so storyline by storyline, okay? Because let's go ahead and tie some loose ends up, okay? First person that I want to talk about, Tiff and Victor, okay? Because throughout this entire episode, we had to see 2 babies be born, okay? I thought it was cheesy that we had Tiff and Keisha go into labor at the same time. I'm sorry, I gotta be honest. I thought it was very cheesy. That's the first thing. Now, secondly, I will say that I found it interesting that we saw both ladies have 2 different birthing styles. We have Keisha, she's doing a home birth like she did before with Ronnie. And then we also see Tiffany, she is going to have her baby at the hospital, right? Okay, cool. Now, at first, I thought I was going to talk about Tiffany first, but no, let's talk about Keisha and Emmett first. Because Tiff's storyline kind of goes into some other ones. So, when it comes to Keisha and Emmett, right? First of all, this is the first child that Emmett will actually see be born. Keep in mind, he already got, 3, 4 kids? I'm like, sir, you ain't been to none of them kids' birth? None? But you know what? I gotta remember, Emmett was another person, okay? He was totally different when he was younger than who he is now. So, at this point, once, Keisha said that she was ready to have this baby, y'all, they done put candles all around the house. They have set the mood. They had a whole vibe in the house, right? And we see Damien and Zuri, they come down the stairs. And I'm just like, Zuri, why are you still here? Like, I'm sorry, but Damien, the fact that you have your little girlfriend around all the time is kind of weird, okay? And I don't have a problem with Zuri's character. I just feel like Damien's disrespect is crazy. Like, anything that somebody tells him not to do, he's going to do it. Like, when they were like, you can't just be having girls up through our house, he like, yeah, well, that's just Zuri. As if that negates the fact that, dude, she's still a random person. Like, you just got with her. You don't know her that well. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Zuri is there. Now, I will say that I did laugh when Emmett told them that they can go ahead and go sit outside on the porch because he did not want their energy in the room, okay? And I would not want Damien's energy in the room either. But it even got to the point where Damien actually got put out, okay? And Damien ended up going over to his dad's house. And y'all, what's so sad about this whole thing is that you can already tell that the writers are setting it up for Jada to pass away, right? Because she wasn't having a good day. She was struggling. And when she found out that the baby was about to be born, because keep in mind, Damien and Darnell had a conversation because Darnell was trying to call Emmett to be like, hey, your mama may be about to leave this earth. Damien picked up the phone and was like, oh, well, the baby about to be here. Now, Darnell wanted Emmett and Keisha to focus on the baby, don't even worry about Jada. But, of course, once she found out that the baby was arriving soon, she wanted to go see the baby, okay? Y'all, I think that it was written very well the way we got to see Emmett be so sweet and so nurturing to Keisha while she was delivering that baby, okay? I love that scene. And of course, the writers made sure that they had a baby girl, okay? So when Jada gets there, she's able to actually hold her grandchild and learn that they named the baby Jada. I said, baby, one thing about Keisha, she gonna name them kids after somebody. Because we got little Ronnie and now we got little Jada, okay? But the one thing that I really want to point out is the fact that this is a terrible situation. Like, it's a bittersweet moment because we all know that at some point Jada is not going to be around to really be the grandmother that we all know that Jada could be to this little girl. Okay, like, it's really sad. But one thing that I do want to point out is the fact that there was a conversation had between Keisha and Jada. And within that conversation, Jada was basically telling her that she wants her to continue to fulfill her dreams and make sure that she takes care of Keisha first. Like, yes, Emmett and what he wants, it matters, but don't keep putting yourself to the side. And she ended up telling Keisha, like, hey, I also put some money to the side for you so that way you can start your own homeschooling. Because as we all know, Keisha wanted to like work with children and babies. You know what I'm saying? Or at least very, very young children. And I really hate that we dropped that storyline because at this point, Keisha don't even have a job. Like, she don't. I don't know what Keisha does for a living on this show because they completely snatched that storyline away. So I'm really hoping that at least for the next season, we do get to see Keisha thrive in something that is specifically for her. You know, it's something that she enjoys, what she wants to do, because far too many times have we seen Keisha just have to settle. You know what I'm saying? We've been watching her settle for years at this point, and it still pisses me off to this day that girl had a full ride scholarship to go to school. I think it was like in a whole different state, and the show wrote it that the school snatched it back because she did not respond. Keep in mind, this girl was missing. I don't think any college would snatch that back when they found out her situation. But you know what? I'm going to leave that where it's at. We're going to leave that in the past. So there was also another conversation had between Jada and her son. And she was, again, trying to convince him, like, hey, now that the baby's here, you know, I'm not going to be around anymore. I still need for you to promise me that you are going to leave Chicago. But of course, Emmett is like, no, because if I leave, there won't be any more, like, you know, good people around in Chicago. Emmett, don't worry about who in Chicago. You need to worry about your family. Like, I get it. I get it that we have made Emmett be like the poster child for Chicago. But at this point, it's like because of who he is now, he don't have to be there. Like, Emmett, you do not have to still be the man of Chicago. It's okay for y'all to pack up and leave. But y'all, because we have another season coming up, I kind of feel like that may be the very end of season 8 or 9. I don't know how long this show is going to go, but I would not be surprised if the ending of this show is with Emmett and Keisha leaving Chicago. I would not be surprised. But besides that, y'all, now the saddest part is when we actually saw Jada lay down in her husband's lap. And I was like, oh, baby, she not going to wake up. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, she passed away. And we saw, you know, Emmett run into the room and, like, embrace his mom. Like, it was very sad. Y'all, seeing Jada's character pass away was very heavy. I'm definitely going to miss her on the show. I kind of feel like her character was one that after a certain point, we stopped utilizing her. And I hated that. And I get it, new storylines and new actors come in, but I feel like we should have saw more interactions with Jada and certain people. Like, if y'all already knew that y'all were going to have the cancer come back as writers, we should have seen more scenes with her and her son over this past season. Because if we want to be honest, ever since Darnell came back into the equation, y'all made sure to have so many scenes with Emmett and his dad, but y'all no longer made scenes for Emmett and Jada. Okay? But we're going to go ahead and move on. Oh, I almost forgot. Earlier in that day, Tracy came to see Jada, right? And y'all, I'm sorry, but she finally made the announcement that she was leaving Chicago. She's moving away somewhere. And I'm just like, that's the exit that y'all gave her? We did not need to wait all the way until this episode for her to leave. It makes absolutely no sense. It was crazy is that I feel like y'all low-key were starting to have a storyline for her when she was supposedly messing around with Pastor Charles. And she still had Keith as a boyfriend. Like, there was some story there that y'all could have actually expounded upon, but y'all didn't do that. So I'm like, you know what? Good riddance, Tracy. Because if we really want to be honest, Tracy should have been gone when Ronnie died. Okay? That's how long ago she should have been gone. Now, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up for those people right there. But let's slide on over to Tiff and Victor because they go back to Alicia's house. She's like, oh, I got to get my bag because, I already packed it. I'm ready to go to this hospital, right? They get in there. Come to find out she's looking for a particular photo of her and Rob. I'm like, girl, you should have packed that in a bag too, okay? Also, it ain't like you really worried about Rob anyways, but whatever. Come to find out, the damn picture was like sitting on a dresser, okay? She over here flipping clothes out of the drawers and stuff for nothing because it was sitting right there. Victor finds it, okay, cool. They are about to go to the hospital. Y'all, I'm confused. Why was it pitch black, dark outside when they supposedly got to Alicia's house? I'm trying to figure out how long was they in the house because when he was driving her to the hospital, it was now morning. And I'm just like, yeah, that timeline don't make no kind of sense. But nonetheless, she's getting irritated because there's a bunch of traffic and he's trying to get her to the hospital. Again, y'all, we started this at nighttime. Ain't no way you was at Alicia's house for like 3-4 hours looking for that damn photo. What happened there? By the time they actually get to the hospital, right, they are trying to take the elevator upstairs. What happens? Oh, Tiff gets stuck in the elevator with Victor to the point where she's like, no, I'm not having my baby in no elevator. I'm not having my baby in no elevator. And I mean, honestly, I get it. I would not want to have that situation happen to me either. But what happens? She has the baby in the elevator. And Victor is the one who has to deliver the baby, right? Of course, right after the baby is delivered, they open up the elevator doors, typical TV fashion. We learned that she names the baby Rob Jr. I felt like she was going to do that because Rob is no longer here. And what's crazy to me is that this girl had this baby by herself with Victor. She did not call her mother. She did not call Alicia. That was a little weird to me. I'm like, if Rob ain't even here, I know her and Alicia don't see eye to eye, but I definitely would have thought that she would have at least had Victor call her from her phone and be like, hey, call Alicia, call my mom, tell them that I'm about to have this baby. I'm not understanding how this girl had a whole baby and then Alicia had to call her to tell her about something that happened at the house. And she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I had the baby. What? Why'd you say that so nonchalantly? Okay. Now, at this point, she is waiting for Alicia to come to the hospital, right? Because, of course, Alicia wants to see her grandbaby, Robert Jr., okay? Now, I'm actually about to stick a pin in all the Alicia things because her storyline is tied to so many other things. I just want to talk about the things that don't matter and the things that I feel like, y'all, where are y'all trying to go next season? First things first, we do not care that Zeke is going to move back into his family's house. I promise you, we don't care. We don't care if, what's her name, Kenya? We don't care if she get back with Papa. Y'all have got to do something else as writers. Like, we're not that enthused. We're not interested in that storyline, period. Now, for some reason, y'all keep trying to shove it down our throats. All I know is next season, I need to see less of Pastor Zeke and his family, okay? Now, another storyline that I'm just kind of like, y'all, what are we doing here? Is Bakari. Okay, so in this episode, we actually saw Bakari have a conversation with the professor, right, about his book and how now we are to the editing process and it's going to take as long as it needs to take. Y'all, can we be honest? I do not care about Bakari and that damn book and this professor because we still did not get any type of solution or resolution on that boy even having funding for school. So, Professor, you keep saying he's like a son to you. Are you going to pay his tuition? Can we talk about that? Because we just kind of skipped over that. And I'm just trying to figure out if next season, are y'all actually going to have Bakari go back to school or what? Also, at the same time, I'm so annoyed that Bakari makes no money. Even though he supposedly is Nuck's number 2 person. You the number 2 person and you ain't got no money coming in. Like, I just don't understand how he's the number 2, y'all. It makes absolutely no sense. We literally saw Nuck shoot somebody because he felt like they was too flashy. Well, at least they getting some kind of money, because really, Nuck, you should be volunteering to pay for this man's schooling, if we want to be technical. And honestly, y'all, at this point, I'm just kind of tired of this storyline with Bakari and this random professor, because it's like he's using Bakari, low-key. Like, he's really using Bakari as like a stand-in son, because I feel like he thinks that he failed as a parent because his actual son took his own life, because that's the story that they gave us. I don't know. Like, it's very weird how now he's just so into helping Bakari. And I think he mentioned something like, oh, it's like helping him heal or something like that. But it's like, so really you're only helping him for your own personal benefit. Like, not because you really want Bakari to do well. Like, you just want to be parent 2.0. And here's the thing. Honestly, this is the second person to pour into Bakari. Because let's not forget when Pastor Stanley was trying to help Bakari, okay? We're not going to forget that. Bakari, I'm going to need for you to get up out of Chicago too. Like, I'm telling y'all, I have never in my life watched a show that has, number one, gotten rid of so many characters so far, but also all the characters need to leave the city. I ain't never seen nothing like this. We do see Bakari have a conversation with Lene, and he ends up thanking her for introducing him to Professor Gardner. And I'm just like, what's frustrating to me, y'all, is that we always knew that Lene was like this smart girl. And the fact that we don't even get to see her thrive in college is crazy to me. But next thing you know, Lene tells him that she loves him and she wants him to move in. And I'm just like, oh, damn, you about to put your brother out? But no, she says that she got her own place. Y'all, with what money? How much are these people making at Smokies? It can't be that much money, because they swear Smokies is always in the red. So how much is you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Okay? Y'all could have at least had it to be like, Lene should be braiding hair on the side or something. Nonetheless, she wants to move out of Nina's house and get her own place. And I get it. She's growing up. I understand why she wants her own place. But I do think that is crazy that now we got Dom and Jamal just living up in Nina's old house. And honestly, y'all, at this point, I just want them to, give her house back, okay? But we gonna go ahead and move on, y'all. So now we gotta talk about the storylines that are intertwined. Now, when we started this episode, we actually saw Reg, he got arrested by Tucson. I said, oh, okay, cool. So now her son about to get out of jail, right? Because that's why she been doing all of this. And then we jump over to Candace. She calls Keith and she's telling him how, like, oh my gosh, I messed up, we messed up. He like, what's going on? And she has to tell Keith how Reg tried to rob somebody's house. She was the lookout. And Keith was like, y'all are stupid, but just tell me where his stash is so that way we can, like, bail him out of jail. And I'm just like, y'all can just bail him out. Don't that man got priors? Like, I'm confused, but whatever. Also, I thought it was weird that she ended up calling Keith, and then when she got off the phone with him, she started the car up as if she was going back to her house. And I'm just like, girl, you didn't have to tell him where the stash was if you was just gonna meet him at the house. Like, what are we doing? Things that don't make sense. Nonetheless, after that, y'all, why did we see Nuck? Because this is another part of the storyline that kind of ties in. We see Nuck, he's messing around with some random girl, right? Out of nowhere, Rosalind pops up. I said, girl, where have you been? Because honestly, this season, we should have seen her have more interactions with Nuck, considering she took over all the Duda stuff. If she took over all the Duda stuff, right? All of his business, the legal and the illegal, there should have been some things that were intertwined with the mob that Nuck was handling. And we never got to see them interact, except for right now. That makes no sense. Also, she ends up pulling a gun on him and she's asking who killed Doodah. Girl, I thought we all knew that it was Nuck. Like, I'm so confused the way this show is operating. When somebody died, they swear nobody knew who did it. Okay? Like, nobody knew that Reg, he was alive and he was back in town. Like, the way these people are all intertwined with each other, there's no way that there are certain things that are happening in this city that they don't know about it. And here's the thing. In the grand scheme of how big Chicago is, no, you would not know who shot this person or who's back around or anything like that. But the way these people on this show are intertwined, and like, I will say this, like seasons 1 through 4, for sure, certain people did not interact with each other, okay? They did not know each other. We made sure that everybody did not know each other. However, where we are today on this show, everybody knows everybody. Okay? In some weird way that don't even make sense half the time. So I just think that it is so crazy that Rosalind is just now coming around asking who killed Doodah, talking about some she found some little piece of paper saying that, oh, whoever killed me, then you need to go kill them. Rosalind, are you mentally okay? Because you didn't even like Doodah like that. So what are we talking about? Like, this made no sense to me. Now, at this point, we already know Nut gonna say that it wasn't him. He says that it was Alicia. And I'm just like, how many times is he gonna sit up here and tell lies? Also, why are we acting like the only people that were in the club that night, the cigar lounge that night, was Alicia and Bianca? If y'all go back to that scene, it was some other people that was there at the cigar lounge. So there were other people who saw what happened. Why are we acting like it wasn't? You know what? I gotta let it go. It's a TV show. Nonetheless, Nuck is saying that it was Alicia. So now Rosalind is going to go after her. Okay, fine. Whatever. Okay? Moving on from there. After she leaves the house, though, Nuck is pissed off. He go up in his living room. Bakari, why you let her in the house or whatever? And Bakari was like, man, I have my earphones on. I fell asleep. And here's my thing. Nuck, you so pissed off at him. But in the grand scheme of things, maybe you should have had better locks on your door. Okay? Also, at the same time, I don't understand why Bakari still lives here. And again, it makes me question, Bakari, why don't you have any money? Because you supposedly a part of this gang. For what? It's not making no sense. But let's go ahead and move on, because we actually do see Alicia and Toussaint. They are passing each other in their cars, right? And Toussaint basically told Alicia that, she was on her own when it came to Nuck. And I'm like, okay, so you basically used her. You keep saying that you trying to free your son, but you literally had Nuck in your hands. And you know that he's a murderer. But you are so adamant about catching Reg? For what? Because then we later saw that he bailed out. So I'm like, girl, what was the whole point of this? Like, I really don't think that Reg is about to go to jail and her son is going to get out free. I don't see that happening. So all of this was for nothing when it comes to Toussaint. Y'all, why did they bring her back on this show? If they were not going to incorporate the police how they should have this season, I don't understand what's happening. I don't get it. But we're going to go ahead and move on, because then we jump over to Reg and Candace, and they're walking out the jailhouse because he bailed out. And now Candace is like, oh my gosh, I messed up. Y'all, I'm actually surprised that Reg did not go off on her or kick her to the curb or anything like that, considering she basically got him arrested. But here's the thing. She's like, oh man, I think it was the old lady. Baby, they put two and two together and they had figured out that it was Alicia pretending to be some woman named Terry. And now, of course, Reg want to get his lick back, okay? Now, after that, we actually saw a stakeout happen because Reg is telling Candace, okay, I need you to go ahead and text Alicia. So she do it, and we see Alicia is leaving her house to meet up with Candace, right? Reg is like, okay, I'm gonna be in and out of here. I'll call Hannibal to come pick me up. Y'all gonna meet up with Alicia, right? Because Keith in the car. And they drive off. He go up in her house, right? Destroys it, okay? Destroy her house. And he also robbed her. Like, he over here stealing her fancy Louis Vuitton bags. He found a fur in the closet. Like, he really out here robbing her. And he ended up finding her safe. You know what I mean? He ended up finding where the mustache was. He hit the jackpot, okay? Y'all, while he's doing all of that, we actually see Candace talking to Alicia. And basically, she's like, I just really want to get away from my boyfriend. And Alicia's like, oh, I can be your protector. Baby Candace hit the switch and was like, yeah, protector or more like a predator. I said, ooh, she clocked you, baby. She clocked you. And here's the thing. I really kind of wanted this situation with Candace and Alicia to go a little bit longer, because I feel like the storyline could have been better if she was really trying to like play Alicia, and then she actually softened and was like flipped to be on Alicia's side versus Reg. Like, that would have been more interesting, but this is what we got, y'all. Nonetheless, Alicia now knows that Candace knows what's up. So after that, because at this point Reg has left the house, okay, we actually saw Alicia, like I said, she had called Tiff to tell her that they had been robbed, right? Now, since she heard that her grandbaby has been born, she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna come to the hospital because I want to see my grandbaby, right? And here's the thing, time is going past, okay? And Tiff ended up texting Nuck to be like, hey, go check on the house because I heard we got robbed. And then we go and see Alicia. She in the house and she hears something. What is it? Rosalind. Rosalind shows up and she ends up asking Alicia, did you kill Duda? And Alicia's like, no, Nuck killed him. And she's like, oh, he said that you would say that? Y'all, I'm sorry. I get it that Alicia has been an enemy of Duda for a while now, and she was seeking revenge on him, but I just don't understand why we had to bring back Rosalind to do this, because her character is not even around all the time, so it's like, it didn't really hit that hard. You know what I'm saying? Rosalind kills Alicia, and I'm just like, I guess? Like, it just makes no sense. I'm sorry, it don't. So, after that, because Alicia's laying on the floor, Nuck, he goes to the house. He sees that Alicia dead. He makes sure when he leave out the house that he did not touch that door handle with his bare hands. He like, let me get up out of here. So, we see Shad. He's waking up to his new girl, because he done spent the night over there. And come to find out, he actually had the night off. What's crazy to me in this whole situation is that we have seen Alicia have other men work there. She has other guards who work for her. Where they at? Also, y'all better have cameras around that house. Like, for real. You cannot tell me that lady's son got murdered and brought to her front doorstep and she don't have cameras now. Like, we need to see the cameras and the footage that shows that Shad and Victor had nothing to do with this, okay? Because we about to get into it. So, Shad, like I said, he go back over there to Alicia's house because now he got to go check on her. He just got a call from Victor because Tiff, she woke up in the hospital like, where Alicia at? And Victor like, I ain't seen her. She like, hey, yo, something ain't right. Of course, Victor gonna check with Rashad because he like, yo, you work for her. Where that lady at? Shad go over there, go see what's going on. He sees that Alicia is dead, laying in a pile of blood, okay? This is where things got a little crazy for me. Y'all, why did he call Victor? It was like, you need to come over here right now, come over here right now, right? And of course, Victor is going to rush over. When he got there, I don't understand why Shy told him, we got to move her body. Why? It made no sense for him to move her body to the white couch. Like, what was that? Writers, why did y'all even write for Shy to think that that was smart to do? It made no sense for them to move Alicia's body. Now they literally have her blood on their hands, and next thing you know, we hear the police sirens outside. And they gotta walk out. And y'all thought it was cute to put that little song from Belly on the end of the show? Please. This makes no sense whatsoever. And y'all, I know that we have heard Luke James say that he ain't gonna be in season 8. Honestly, if I was him, I would not even come back to the show because it has gotten stupid. Like, ridiculously stupid. Also, let's not act like Alicia does not have money, okay? She lives in a nice neighborhood. I'm pretty sure if people heard gunshots, because Rosalind shot her a couple of times, it wasn't no silencer on there. I'm pretty sure somebody in the neighborhood would have been like, hey, yo, there's some gunshots going on. I don't know what's going on. I think it may be something happening at my neighbor's house. Like, are we okay? The way that this show refuses to use the police makes no sense whatsoever. It makes no sense. Like, I get it. Shy don't want to go back to jail, but I don't understand why he did not call the police. Y'all, I'm sorry, but this just was stupid. Now, keep in mind, while we got these two being arrested for the murder of Alicia, we also saw Reg and his crew celebrating because, baby, they just hit a lick. And we got Candace over there flaunting that fur jacket that Alicia has worn before. And I'm like, girl, you don't think that when you try to wear that around the city, people ain't gonna peep game? Girl, bye. But y'all, that was the season finale of The Shy. I don't know what they're going to do for season 8. All I can say is that this is one show that when they offered them the option to be like, oh yeah, guys, we're going to renew you for another season, y'all should have turned it down. And I am all for supporting Black shows. This show has had its highs and lows, but right now it's very much at a low. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.